Before we start our 10-minute abs workout, if you're pregnant or if you've just recently had a baby, there are a few options that you'll need to do throughout this workout. If you are pregnant, you are only able to do a few of these exercises. I'll let you know which ones they are as we go through. If you've recently had a baby, I would recommend that you consult your specialist before doing any abs workouts. Let's get started. Your first exercise is a plank. You have two options. First of all, make sure your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. You start on your knees with your feet together, not crossed over. Your back is nice and flat, your tummy is nice and tight, pulling your belly button up towards your spine. Your second option is to be on your toes. You want to make sure your head is in line with your body. Back nice and flat, tummy nice and tight. Now you need to hold this move for 1 minute. You can alternate between your knees or your toes. Just make sure you focus on keeping that belly button really pulled up tight towards your spine. Your next exercise is a side plank. Two options, on your knees or on your toes. Again, making sure your elbow is directly underneath your shoulder. If you need a little bit of a challenge, you can add some dips during that time, dipping it down and up. Or if you're really up for a challenge, you can do some reach throughs. Taking that top hand underneath, reaching through and up. You can alternate through any of these during the minute. You then need to do the other side for a minute. Your next exercise is a bicycle. The first option is taking your knees at 90 degrees and taking one leg down at a time. Making sure you're pushing your belly button down towards your spine and keeping your back as flat as possible. If you find that your back is arching, you need to keep your knee bent. Otherwise, you can take your leg out as far as it will go. Arms down by your sides, so this is option 1. Option 2, you can crunch it up and hold, taking one leg down at a time. I wouldn't recommend this one if you've just had a baby. This exercise can't be done if you're pregnant. Your next option is to do opposite elbow to opposite knee, making sure your fingers are on your ears, not behind your head, because you want to crunch up your tummy as tight as it will go while you're twisting, really twisting it across, opposite elbow to opposite knee. You need to do that for 1 minute. Your next exercise is a leg lift. Legs up in the air, lifting your butt off the ground about 1 inch, making sure you don't swing your legs. They need to go straight up and down. It's just a small move, keeping your tummy nice and tight, pushed down towards your spine. Small move, down and up. Making sure your hands are down by your sides with your palms facing upwards so that you're not tempted to grab onto the ground or your mat. You need to do that exercise for 1 minute. Your next exercise is arm pulses. So lying down on the ground, knees bent, feet flat, crunching it up with your arms down by your sides and just gently pulsing your arms down and up. Now what you want to focus on is really squeezing up your tummy. Imagine your tummy's a sponge full of water. As you're squeezing it up there, you're squeezing all the water out, pushing your belly button down towards your spine so your back's nice and flat, and just keep pulsing those arms for 1 minute. Your next exercise is heel touches. So with your knees bent, your feet flat, feet close together, and just reaching around to touch your heels. The closer you put your feet together, the harder it will be to reach around to touch your heels, which will make the move more intense. If you take your feet further away from your body and reach around even further, that will also intensify the move. Don't forget to keep your belly button pushed down towards your spine, keeping your back nice and flat. You need to do this move for 1 minute.